Yo, what's up? Welcome back. My name is Adelante, and I'm here to give you some tips on how you can improve your workflow as an independent artist or an independent rapper. Let's go.
Adelante, make the beat drop.
So this is a topic that I've had a lot of people reach out to me about, and honestly, it's something that can vary per person or per situation, but generally the problem is I realize this is like the scenario, right? Like people hit me up and they're like, yo, like I'm spending hours working on something and then I end up losing motivation. I can't finish it. Like I start second guessing myself. And it ends up coming down to basically the fact is they start something and then they don't finish it because of whatever reason, right? They lose focus, they lose interest, they decide on starting something completely different, and we've all been there. Now, this can partly, I'm not saying 100%, but this can partly be the reason or a reason behind this is that your workflow is just not set up for you to finish a song, for you to finish a beat, right? There's too many barriers in between that keep you from getting that done. Here are some tips that can greatly help you out along your journey, and if they can be implemented in an effective way, they're going to increase the output, the productivity that you can get done in a shorter amount of time. So the first tip is to have a daily schedule for when you are either recording, writing, or producing, right? Now, we all have lives. They're all completely different. For me, I have my full-time job still, I have 3 kids, and I have my wife. My kids are at a point right now, at least my son, he's at a point right now where he's getting old enough to participate in sports, right? He's getting into programs, so I'm taking him to soccer, I'm taking him to school, I'm taking him to after-school programs. Obviously you spend time with the family, have dinner, cook dinner, put him to sleep, all these sorts of things. So during the day, personally, I don't have that much time to work on music. So my scheduled music time is from the time that they go to sleep, which is around 8 o'clock, 8:30 p.m. to, sometimes I go till about 1, 2 a.m., right? That's the time that I get to work on my music. And I have to be as effective as possible during that short amount of time. If not, I feel like I'm wasting my time. I feel like I'm, not getting anything done. I'm not meeting my goals. I'm not, able to produce what I want during that time. So in order to do that, I have to have this daily schedule completely blocked out. My wife knows that during this time I'm working. It's not that I'm just down here in my studio, doing whatever, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. No, I'm actually working. I'm making beats. I'm answering emails. I'm reaching out to artists. I'm connecting with other producers, other artists, other things, creating content. This is my time to work. And the more I do it, the more it becomes a habit of mine. And when I don't do it, it feels weird. So set up that daily schedule. Maybe you're in school, right? Maybe you're still in, high school, middle school, college, whatever it may be. Maybe you have more time during the day, right? Or you get out of school around 3 o'clock. Maybe you're not in sports. Maybe you finish your homework early. Whatever it may be, just make sure you block out a time of the day that you can completely focus in on what you're doing. Tip number 2, have your mic, your computer, everything set up in a place that it's always going to be ready to go. What you don't want to happen is you don't want your mic to be, put away, the mic stand to be put away, the XLR cables aren't even connected, they're not connected to the interface. So each time that you need to record something, you got to connect the cable, you got to set up the mic stand, you got to set up the pop filter, you got to connect the mic, you got to, again, remove as many barriers as possible in order to increase your workflow. So have your mic set up in a dedicated place. Don't move it. Keep the XLR cables connected to your audio interface, that audio interface connected to your computer, so that when you get into the studio, all you gotta do is turn your computer on, everything fires up, and you just hit record. Because if not, again, you're gonna create barriers for yourself, and over the span of time, those barriers are gonna accumulate. They're gonna mount up. They're gonna get in the way of you being productive. And eventually what's gonna happen, you're not gonna record anything. If you're an independent artist and you're recording your own stuff, you can buy templates, right? People like Wavy Wayne have a whole collection of templates dedicated to, I think it's Pro Tools, Studio One, and I can't remember if he has another one. But it's always like, oh, R&B vocals, or you want to sound like Jack Harlow, or you want to sound like The Baby, or you want to sound like... He does everything ahead of time and makes sure that he sets up a template so that when you purchase it and you launch it up, all you got to do is hit record. Now, is this the one-stop shop fix for everything? Probably not. Like, you could probably still reach out to an engineer afterwards to help you tweak your sound, to help just get the mix and the master right, to get everything like clean. Because if you don't have very much knowledge, right, a template is just gonna help you get the ideas out, get you sounding a little clean as you're recording. But then for the finished product, definitely you wanna hit up somebody else to make sure they give that last little go around, that last tweak, make sure they got you sounding right. But templates is a huge way to help increase your productivity and speed up your workflow, especially if you're recording demos, right? Maybe you're just recording demos and you just want to knock stuff out quickly and then send it out. Templates. For me, I use templates in terms of producing. So when I make beats, I have a template in Ableton that already has all my favorite sounds ready to go. So I have my favorite kick, my favorite snare, hi-hats. It automatically loads Omnisphere and Contact and a few other plugins. It has my master chain all ready to go. So everything's there. So all I gotta do is jump in, lay some chords down, get my ideas out, start creating drum patterns, whatever it may be. But the fact that I'm not spending hours and hours and hours just trying to find that perfect snare, that perfect kick, right? I know there's been many times where if producers, if you're watching this, how many times have you sat there just clicking and clicking and clicking through thousands and thousands of drum samples and kick samples and snares and all that? Get rid of that. That's just gonna slow you down. Spend time finding your favorite sounds ahead of time, pre-program them in a template so that when you jump into your programs, boom, you're just ready to go. Producers, if you're watching this, use Midi. Artists, use Midi. Now, what is Midi? Midi is pre-programmed like information that somebody else has either played a drum sample or a chord progression, and they've exported it in a Midi file. So when you get that Midi file, you just drag and drop it into your DAW and it plays. You load up an instrument on it, you load up a drum track on it, and it automatically plays it for you. Now, as an independent artist, how is this helpful? Well, it's helpful because if you have ideas in your head, or you just need something, or you need a chord progression to be played for you, then this is a great way to get your ideas going. Now, this is also going hand in hand with using samples. So jumping on Splice, grabbing some samples, dropping them in your DAW, creating a beat, creating a song, using these samples, super, super important and super helpful as you're creating music, and if you just want to get your ideas flowing. Maybe it's not the final product, maybe you're just using it to get the ideas out, but using MIDI and samples is a huge, huge way to help you improve and increase your workflow. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, let me know which one of these helped you out the most. As always, my name is Adelante, and always keep it moving, forever forward. Peace.